Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Beta and this is The Simple Budget. Here on my channel, I show you how my family is using the zero-based budgeting method in order to get out of debt and simplify our financial life. If that sounds like content that you're interested in, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and join our little crew here. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. Well, hello everyone and happy Friday. Hasn't been that long since we've seen each other, since we've been able to sit down and chat. But I hope that your week has been good since the last time we sat here together. Today's video is the weekly check-in, and just as a little explanation for what this is, the weekly check-in is where we go ahead and track and reconcile all of the non-cash expenses for the last week. So in this world that is very digital, obviously doing 100% cash is very difficult. And so what we do if we make an online purchase or a debit card purchase is I go back through all of the categories that we cash stuff for those things that we purchased either online or with debit, pay the money back to the bank so that we don't overdraw our account. There are two ways that people keep a buffer in their checking account for just such an occasion. One is you have a designated buffer. So it's just money that is specifically categorized to sit in your checking account as a buffer. So some people will do $250, some people will do $500, some people will do $1,000. And it is, it's like treating it kind of like petty cash. My husband and I, we use our bills and expenses money as our buffer. So that money that we are continually funding weekly for bills, for our mortgage, those sorts of things that we don't cash stuff for, that money sits in our account kind of throughout the month. And we're actually, with our mortgage specifically, our mortgage builds up for the duration of the month and then it's due the first of the next month. So that money sits in there and acts as a buffer for us. It's also a really, really good incentive not to overspend, because you don't want to overspend and then not be able to pay your mortgage. So we choose to do it that way. I know that that's a little risky for some people. However you're most comfortable, set up your buffer that way. Because if you are going to cash stuff, you are going to need a cash buffer in your checking account. There's just no two ways about it. So anyways, that's like a little mini explanation for how this all works. And we can just go ahead and jump right into the expense tracking. Actually, you know what, before I do, because I always get questions about my nail color. This one, I was kind of bummed actually, because you guys, I mean, those of you who've been around here for a while, I did a navy color like a few weeks ago, and I was expecting this was going to be a little bit more of a vibrant royal blue. But after 3 coats, which is what I do for the ability for long wearing, it ended up turning out a little bit more navy than I was anticipating, which is fine. I mean, I love a good navy nail, but I was really hoping for that royal blue color. Anyway, this is another one from the brand that I always buy. It used to be KL Polish. Now it's Lights Lacquer. And this was a KL Polish color, and Lights Lacquer did not duplicate it. So I'm kind of bummed about that. And I looked, and they don't really have a dupe for it on their website. So I wouldn't even be able to offer you a viable alternative. But anyways, I hate to dangle a nail color in front of you and then you can't even take advantage of it. Anyways, just wanted to let you know, because I'm sure I always get at least 1 or 2 questions about my nail polish whenever I don't talk about it. So I like to try to talk about it for you if I can. Okay, so let me just pop in here. This, my goodness, I'm a little tight in here today. There we go. This budget binder, the binder itself is from a brand called Jumping Fox Designs. I'll go ahead and leave it linked below for you. They are a small business, but they do operate through Amazon, which is nice. And I think you can also just go to their website, but I'll link the Amazon one. And then the budget planner is mine. I have this available in digital and printable versions. The digital one, you just upload into like a notes app in your tablet, and that is good for a year actually. But I lost all of my words. The printable version is available like in pieces, but I have a main month planner, and that's what I operate out of on a weekly basis. Just ignore this. I have like notes on here for for my own personal budgeting. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and pull out my expense tracker here. There we go. And I'm going to grab a couple sheets so that I have some writing smoothness available, and this one so we can block out some of this stuff so it's not like so chaotic looking on the screen. I don't know why it bothers me to like see just the layers and layers of writing, but it does. And that's why I always grab a sheet so that I can like go like this, you know, so that we don't have like just a page of writing. I don't know why. You guys probably think I'm crazy. Anyways, there we go. Okay. So I'm actually going to zoom you guys in so that we can actually get into the expense tracking, because you can't see from there. So I'm going to zoom you in and we'll get into it. So we are all zoomed in here, and we will just jump right into this video because, you know, well, unless you are new to my channel, these are videos in which I can become a little rambly, especially when we're talking about purchases, because more often than not, the things that you're buying in your life are helping to facilitate, you know, I don't know, dreams, short-term dreams and goals. And sometimes it's just like a shirt you really love or a pair of shoes that you've been saving for a long time. And when we get into those kinds of things, it's just fun to chat about it. So we're going to jump right into it. The very first purchase up this week was from, and if you guys have been around my channel for a while, you've heard me mention this brand before, Biossance. It's the skincare that I use that I absolutely love. It is super duper clean. It is environmental working group verified, meaning that it does not have toxic and harmful chemicals in their ingredient list, which is fantastic, especially for something that you are putting on your skin. Your skin is an organ. It is the largest one that you have, and it absorbs whatever you put on it. So be cautious about what you put on it. This is, I usually have to buy this about once a year. That's how long it lasts me. So if you're curious of the longevity of certain things, because it is, their skincare is pricey. But actually, and we'll get into this, they have a really fantastic rewards program. So you get points for like every dollar that you spend, I think. And then eventually you can trade those in and use them for like little gift vouchers on their website, which is absolutely fantastic. And then they also usually run really, really wonderful sales as well. That's why I picked this up. I was using a sample to bridge the gap because I have a lot of their samples as well, their sample size products. I was using a sample size of this face oil to bridge the gap between when I needed to like actually replenish it, or when I finished my old one and needed to buy a new one. And yeah, so why am I telling you? Oh, yeah. So when I saw that they were doing a 25% off sale, I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to replenish my face oil, because it's, you know, it's pricey. And so taking advantage of a 25% off sale, plus I had points enough to trade in for a $25 voucher as well. So that's what I was able to do for this one. And including like shipping and tax and stuff, the total price came out to $35.09 for me, because again, I got it 25% off, and then I used a $25 voucher on it. So, and that was all I needed actually from them this time. When I tell you, I literally buy all of my skincare from there. Literally all of my skincare comes from them. So my eye cream, my serums that I use, and my regular just like face moisturizer. But honestly and truly, their face oil was the very first product that I ever purchased from them. And it was the only one that I ever used from them. Once I stopped using skincare that like had bad ingredients in it, now I was in my early 30s, but I don't really feel like I need like intensive skincare anyway, but I would just put on their face oil when I got out of the shower, and that was the only moisturizer I used for the entire day, and it worked fantastically. So, I mean, I I definitely like broadened my horizons in their brand, and I've purchased more things from them now, like their eye creams, and I actually use their face soap as well. So like, I love this brand. I cannot speak more highly of it. This isn't sponsored. They don't even know who I am. I just love telling you guys about products that I really genuinely, truly love. And Biossance is like the very, very tip top of that list, because good skincare makes a difference. Also, just drinking water and eating healthy makes a huge difference for your skin also, but what you're putting on your skin is also important. Anyway, my gosh, see, I told you I can just ramble on about things, but I was talking to a person who also has like a very passionate personality, and I said something like, I can't imagine just being laid back. Like, I don't know what that would feel like. And this is like one of those things, like, I don't know how to be laid back about things that I care about. I don't know. Anyways, the total cost was $35.09, and I'm paying $35 back to the bank. If you do happen to be new to my channel, I'm just going to give you a little introduction into what we call the virtual coin jar here. For all of our expense tracking, whenever we're paying money back to the bank, obviously we're paying in whole dollars. I'm not taking change back to the bank. And typically what we do is we round up to the next dollar, unless it's like a really low change amount like this one. So $35.09. When we do round up, all of that extra change just sits in our bank account. And so we can also pull from it for expenses like this. So instead of rounding up to $36, we rounded down to $35, and this 9 cents is like in our checking account in our virtual coin jar. And you'll see kind of as we go along in the expense tracking how this works out when we round up as well. So anyways, moving right along. Next up was an Amazon purchase. This might be another, Veda story. This one is coming from my personal spending. The total charge was $37.88. And this is where we round up. So I'm returning $38 to the bank. So this extra, 12 cents? That is what builds up when we do things like that. That builds up a little buffer. And we, like I said, we call it our virtual coin jar. And so that's where we're able to pull this change from. This was actually, I went ahead and you guys are going to laugh. So you know how I love my bird feeders in my backyard. And a few weeks ago, I purchased mealworms because I've started to notice bluebirds hanging out in our backyard. And they do still come by from time to time. They just haven't found the mealworms in the mealworm bird feeder yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. One of the things that I was realizing recently is I don't really have a lot of stuff going on in my backyard that would make birds and pollinators in particular attracted to my backyard. I don't have like a flower garden in my backyard or anything like that. And I was like, well, maybe if you did that, you would get birds, and then by virtue of bugs, and by virtue of the bugs, you would get birds. And also just giving them little places to like hide and stuff. And so I got it in my head to buy like an above ground, like container garden. So it's 5 feet long and I think like 20 inches deep, somewhere in that neighborhood. And I'm going to, put it in my backyard and fill it with soil. And then I'm going to actually, this is kind of like in honor of my dad a little bit. For those of you who don't know, my dad passed away 2 years ago, and my dad had the most, and my mom still does it now, beautiful sunflower garden. If I have any pictures of it or of the flowers, I'll post it for you to see here because it really is just so beautiful. And then he and my mom would take pictures together in front of the sunflower garden and send them to all of us every year as well. And so I was like, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to grow a garden, it's 5 feet is long, but a sunflower garden this year in honor of my dad. But I'm also going to put like all of his favorite flowers that he would grow around it. So my dad, it wasn't really a sunflower garden. They had like a raised veggie garden because my dad was just a really good gardener, and he grew the sunflowers behind the veggie garden, but then he would grow zinnia underneath of it. And then he would grow marigolds on either side of it to detract the pests and stuff because they don't really like marigolds. Excuse me. And so that's what I'm going to do in my little 5-foot raised garden. I'm going to grow sunflowers, zinnia, and marigold in honor of my dad. So I was just like, I got it in my head that this was going to be a fun little project and it would help attract pollinators also. And then also, you know, birds, because the birds will probably want to eat one or two of them. So anyways, plus also, oh my gosh, on my dad's sunflowers, they would attract the sweetest little goldfinches every year straight to their sunflowers. And then, of course, the sunflowers attracted all the honeybees and bumblebees and all that kind of fun stuff. So it was just beautiful. My parents had all kinds of fun bird watching and stuff in their backyard. So I'm really looking forward to it this year. Plus, it's like a fun project that I can do with my kids and my husband, and just like tending to the garden and getting the kids used to, you know, doing fun outdoor things that, you know, provide you with some beauty on the other side of it. So anyways, all of that to say, I'm pulling it from my own personal spending because this was like an idea that I got in my head and I didn't want to pull from like a household category in order to facilitate it. I probably could have made the argument for it, but I just didn't feel the need to do that. So pulling it from my spending, and I don't mind. I'm really looking forward to it. So anyways, moving right along. Another Amazon purchase. This was, I'm trying to remember. So $20.62. I'm returning $21 to the bank. And I can't remember what, I remember what it is. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the brand Epic, but they make a lot of like jerkies and meat bars and things like that for those of us who are carnivore or keto or paleo or even Whole30 eaters. And I thought that buying a box of these like Wagyu beef strips would be a really good snack for me to bring to work while I have lunch. I don't really eat too much while I'm at work. I usually bring myself a couple hard-boiled eggs. And then I was like, oh, these beef strips will go really well with it. So they're delicious. I'll go ahead and leave them linked below for you guys if you are interested in them, because the flavor on them was really, really delicious. It is expensive. I mean, it's not inexpensive to eat this way. I'm just going to be perfectly frank with you, but the payoff is, especially for somebody like me with so many autoimmune issues, is I just feel so much better. So anyways, that was that. Moving right along. Let's see. Next up. Oh, okay. My gosh, I feel like this is just, there aren't even that many expenses this week, but I just feel like this is like a week of stories. So here we go. We'll just jump right into it. So there's this account that I follow on Instagram. I don't remember if her name is Pretty Farm Girl on Instagram, but that's the name of the shop, like the business. And I noticed she was posting information about this wrap that she sells on her website where you can put castor oil on it and then you strap this like thing to your body, and it really helps to like detox your liver and like enhance just like your general hormone welfare. And this is not my personal issue, but my mom has what is it? It's hypo. She's got hypothyroid. And, you know, because I'm aware of the fact, like I'm related to her, and generally, you know, if it's going to impact your mother, it could also impact you. And so I'm just always aware of trying to protect my endocrine system and boost my hormone health and all of those sorts of things. And I don't have hypothyroid. We're just going to knock on I don't need another autoimmune issue, frankly, but I don't know if I haven't developed it because I eat the way that I eat now. And actually, fun fact, my mom eats carnivore too, just like I do. And I don't know that it's impacted her thyroid health because she's been diagnosed as hypothyroid and she's been on medicine for it since she was like in her maybe late 20s. But the improvement in her overall general health since she started eating carnivore like me is like insane. My mom used to have like really intense sinus infections and sinus issues, and it was all just an inflammatory response to flours and sugars and stuff like that. She was actually so bad that she was going to have surgery to clean her sinuses out. But since she started doing carnivore, it all went away. So props to clean eating. But anyways, that's not what this is. I bought the wrap that I was just talking about earlier. So I'll be curious to see if I notice a difference in like my hormone health and stuff like that. I don't don't really have bad hormone health. Like, sorry if you're a fellow watching my channel, but like, I don't have bad periods or anything like that, but I'm trying to just make sure that it stays that way. So, and just in general, like, because I have some autoimmune issues, I'm just always trying to make sure that I am boosting, my health and wellness whenever possible. And so when I saw this, I thought maybe it's a little gimmicky. I don't know, but I'm certainly willing to try it. So we're pulling it from Medical. I'll leave it linked below if you guys are interested. I'm pulling it from Medical because it's like a health thing. The total cost was $42.30, and we're rounding up, and I'm taking $43 back to the bank. So that's that. Hopefully this next one is not a story. We'll see. Oh no, it's just my Target purchase. So every week I go to Target for certain groceries and certain other things. What I buy from there is pretty minimal at this point, but the total charge was $55.68. $38.68 of that was grocery. I'm going to be taking $39 back to the bank. $17 was toiletries, and I'll be taking $17 back to the bank. Toiletries is really getting hit hard this month, but we'll figure it out. Like, I have ways of, like, supplementing it and stuff too. So I'm not too worried about it, but my goodness gracious. I mean, toiletries has really had a moment these last few weeks. Next up, another Amazon purchase. This was like an Amazon week, particularly because I would go through like a day of doing work in my shop for my Etsy shop, which is always linked below, by the way. And realizing like, oh, I need to replenish my stock of this. Oh, I need to replenish my stock of that. And so, I was going in like almost daily, I swear, and making different Amazon purchases. So this one was $99.77, and we've got a couple categories for this one. So we've got house project for $40, and some of this was, I feel like one or two of the things that I purchased for this was related to my office. But then also I got 2 free bird feeders, 2. I'm really on one, you guys. So I needed to buy 2 more hooks to attach them to my fence in my backyard. So I got the hooks and something else for my office. And that was a $40 purchase. So I'm returning $40 to the bank. And then what did I need? Oh, I needed to replenish my stock of, what's it called? Tissue. I use like a brown craft paper looking tissue paper that I wrap all of my products in before I put it in the envelope to mail it out, and I needed to replenish my stock of that. So that was $16. And then I just bought a variety of different materials, just different like vellum. And I think, maybe this was just the vellum. I think this was just the vellum for the envelopes. So that was $43.77, and I'll be taking $44 back to the bank. Next up was an Amazon purchase. It was $13.36. I'm taking $14 back to the bank. It was for medical, and I don't remember. I don't remember. That's moving along. It's fine. I've told enough stories in this that I don't need to remember every purchase. Again, another Amazon purchase, another materials expense. It was $71.32, and I'm going to be taking $72 back to the bank. Another Amazon, more materials, $10.03. I'll be taking $10 back to the bank because we rounded down since it was only 3 cents. And then, last up, another, another Amazon purchase. This one was for $27.51. 18 of it was household because I bought different kind of bird seed. So fun fact, I use black oil sunflower seed in my main bird feeder. It attracts like the most variety I have found in my, history of bird watching. But I also wanted to buy one that had like little teeny, just a variety. That's really what this is for my other 2 free bird feeders. Also because they're a little bit smaller and I didn't want it to get clogged up. So I thought maybe if I have like some smaller seeds in there too, it will make a difference. And then $9.51 was from equipment, for my shop. I just bought some new pens, but I don't know why that fell under equipment, but it did. And I'll be returning $10 back to the bank for that one. So anyways, that was it for the purchases this week. certainly lengthy story-wise. But what I'm going to do now is zoom you guys back out. We'll add up all of the cash that we expect to be returning to the bank, and then we will actually get into the unstuffing of our envelopes. Okay, here we go. So I always zoom you guys through this part, but I am going to go ahead and add up all of our return to bank cash so that we know how much to expect to have at the end of all of the unstuffing. So let's just jump right into it. All right, so at the end of this, we should have $417. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make a note right here. So 417, and then I do know that it's not going to be that much because I'm going to be shy in groceries and I think I'm going to be shy in materials, but I'll show you how we work that out too in the event of overspending from one week to the next. What we try to do, and I said this actually in my budget with me on Wednesday, we just try to make sure that we are staying in budget from month to month. How it breaks down from week to week is kind of flexible, but we really try to make sure that we are not overspending for the totality of March moving into April. Like that's something that's a no-no, but overspending from week to week isn't that big of a deal, just so long as you make up for it the following week. So I'll show you how we do that. But first step, I'm just gonna go ahead and go right into our high priority sinking funds because, oh, you know what? I need my cash tray. There we go. Just put that right there. There we go. Okay. So high priority sinking funds, and I have 2 toiletries purchases, or maybe there's more than one, let me see, or more than 2. So we've got, let me just pull it in, 35, 17, and that's it. So that's $52. I know I do not have $52 in here. I'll figure out what I do have. Whoops, I got stuck. 10, 15, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that means that we are shy $27, but not a big deal because I am going to be stuffing it decently in my next cash stuffing. So I'll just subtract from that. So that's what we do. So let me just go ahead and do minus 27 down here so that I know that my total needs to be updated. But I will cross this out, put a check mark, and then down here we have a 0 balance now and a check mark. And then, so this is how I handle that. I go, actually I'm gonna have to move this out of the way. I go into my cash stuffing plan for the month of March. And I'll go over to toiletries and I'll just do minus 27, whoops, 27, so that I know whatever I planned to stuff, I need to do 27 less than that. So you're looking at this and you're like, well, Veda, you're only stuffing $5 in your next cash stuffing. This was the cash stuffing plan before I started getting paid for my new job. So we have a supplemental cash stuffing plan that I made sure to really buffer toiletries up from. So it's $5 plus whatever I was giving it from my pay. So we will be able to subtract 27 and still actually stuff toiletries. So that's how we handle that from week to week. I just go in, you can see like I have lots of notes all over this because you can't be so hard and fast with budgeting. The plan is going to change from time to time. And so this is how we make that happen. I just make lots of notes from week to week about how we're going to amend what we planned to stuff. And it really works out well for us like that. So anyways, let's just pop back in. So we've got a couple of groceries purchases as well. Again, I know that I'm not going to be able to completely pay it back, but I am pulling, so 21. Oh, here, let me move my cash tray back in. This is from this is from an Etsy shop called Funds and Fun. I'll go ahead and leave it linked below as well, the cash tray. I really love it. She did I purchased this one myself. She sent me one for free as well as like a thank you for featuring her on my channel, but I actually gave it away in a giveaway. So, you know, that was the only like perk of mentioning her. I don't know if I have to mention that or not, but I just like to try to be like forthcoming with you guys with that kind of thing. But this one I actually purchased with my own money, and I love it. It's fantastic. And plus I love the color of it. You know me, I'm a neutrals girl. So anyways, yeah, I like went off on a tangent on that one, but I just like you guys to know all that kind of stuff too. So, okay, so here we go. So groceries, so we had 21 and then 39. I think that's that's it. Yeah. So that's $60. I know I do not have $60 in here. What do I have? 25. So minus 25. So I am 35 shy in groceries. So I need to do another subtraction. So minus 35. So that I know at the end that I'm going to have a little bit less than what we originally anticipated. So let me just cross this out, put a check mark, and a 0 here and a check mark. And I will say this, I have some cash back pending right now from my Upside app that I use. If you guys have never heard of it before, it's like almost exclusively for gas purchases, but it's also for I think restaurants and stuff too. Like they'll give you cash back on certain restaurants as well. And I use it for all of my gasoline purchases. And that one is one that you can get gift cards, I think, back from it, but you can also just get cash. And I had built up $25 in there. So I just transferred that over to my checking account because I knew we were going to be shy on groceries this week. So that's going to help make up some of the difference. And then I will just subtract 10 from what I stuff next week as well. But if you are interested in it, if you've never heard of Upside before, I do have my referral link linked below. If you use my referral code, I will get a cash bonus. I think it's like $5 or something. But then you will get a bonus. I think it's like, I want to say like 15 cents per gallon off of your first gas purchase. I think that's what it is. I'm not 100% sure, but it will tell you when you sign up. If you use my referral code, you get like a bonus cash off of your first gas purchase. But anyway, if you do use mine, that's the benefit that I get from that as well. But then I really genuinely use it on all of my gas purchases, which is why I'm able to build up some cash in there as well. So anyways, let me just go ahead and make that note though, just in case the other money doesn't come through, that I need to at least account for $35 in my grocery. So I'll just do minus 35. I'm pretty sure that 25 will hit soon though, or before I do my next cash stuffing, but we'll see. You never know. Okay, here we go. So let me just make sure. Oh yeah. So we have some medical ones to pull out too. So let me go ahead and add this up. So we have 43 and then 14, 57. We're pulling out of medical. So 20, 30, 45, 55, 60. So I need $3. Oh, good. I have some. Let me just double check that. 20, 30, 45, 55, 60. Yep. Okay. We have 250 in the bank on this one as well. So 1, 2, 3. And then there we go. So 250 in the bank, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 here in person. So 254 total in our medical envelope right now. $254. Where's that other? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So let me just move down the line here and just make sure we don't have any other high priority. Oh, household. Yep. $18 from household. Let's see if I can make change. Oh, I can definitely make change. I could probably, well, I don't want to give myself too many. So 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. You know what I don't need to do the next time I do a cash stuffing? Get ones for household. I don't need ones. So remaining in household, we have 20, 30, 45, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 59 left in household. Whoops. 59 and do a check mark there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go next into low priority sinking funds. I don't think we have much from here, but I know we have a couple things. So hers, I'm taking $38 out. Oops. Okay. I certainly, so 25, 35, 36, 37, and 38. Let me just... Actually, let me organize this over here first. That was chaotic. 25, 35, 36, 37, 38. All right. All right. And then remaining in, oops, my spending. Oh, goodness. Holding that open is a nightmare. 50, 75, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, and 90. Oh my gosh. What a pain. So $90 left in my spending. Oh, there it is. Money well spent, you guys. I'm so excited for this little garden. I have some seeds already. A variety of different ones that I've kind of picked up over the course of time. If you guys have never heard of Floret Flower, I think they're based out of Washington State. I'm not 100% sure. They might also be in Oregon. I'm not 100% sure. She runs a beautiful Instagram account, and they have a farm where they just grow cut flowers. And then what they do is, for the particularly beautiful breeds, they sell the seeds and stuff as well. So I first heard of her because she had a beautiful book. I think it was like in Target or something. I'm not 100% sure where I first heard about her, but she was selling a book in Target about, not just in Target, everywhere, about growing a beautiful cut flower garden. And so then I started following her on Instagram, and she had a seed sale one year, and I was able to she has them all the time, but I was able to pick up some varieties of flowers that I was really excited about. So, that's where I have some of my sunflowers and marigolds from, but then I've also just picked up some seeds along the way as well. So, go for a check out, even for just like looking at her beautiful content on Instagram. It's totally worth it following her, but I'm excited about this little flower garden. And then where else? Oh, here we go. House project is also in low priority sinking funds, and I'm pulling 40 from there. Okay, so I'm going to need to just do this 50 and pull back 10. Oh, goodness. And then remaining in house project, we have 100, 200, 50, 70, 80, 90, 1, and 2. So 292 in house project. There we go. 292. And then it looks like everything else is just in my business binder, which, makes sense. I know I'm going to be shy on materials, but if you're new here, I only stuff my my business binder once a month when I do my Etsy and YouTube cash stuffings. And so, and actually, I'm still only going to do it once next month as well. I am doing bonus content where I'm filming the budget with me for my Etsy and YouTube income for the month of April. So every week it's going to be like a little mini budget with me so that you guys can see how I budget my income, my Etsy income, my side income. But I'm still only going to stuff it once a month. And that's what we do too. Actually, the money that comes in from Etsy once a week just kind of sits there and builds up as a buffer in our checking account as well. So even though I don't have the amount of cash in my materials envelope here that I'm going to need, I still have earned it. It's just sitting in my checking account right now. And so I'll just stuff less whatever I overspent from what's in my envelope here, if that makes sense. I hope that wasn't too rambly for you, but let me just add all of this up really quickly. So 44, 72, and 10. So $126. I know I don't have that in here. I think I have like 60, somewhere in that neighborhood. Here we go. 50, 65, 66, 67, 68. So minus 68. So I am shy $58. Let me just do another minus 58. And then I'm going to just off camera here really quickly. I'm going to update my little, paycheck plans for Etsy just so that I know, because it doesn't get a cash stuffing plan in the same way that our regular income does. So I just have to track this really quickly. Oh, sorry, I think I just bumped you. Yeah, I'm just gonna subtract. What did I say? 58. So that will just be subtracted from the total amount of materials money that I give my, that I do for my business binder stuffing for March's Etsy income. Where did that cash go? Oh, I left it there. So, okay, 50, 65, 66, 67, and 68. All right. And materials is empty for now. So, here we go, 0. But I'll put a check mark next to all of them because technically we've at least acknowledged that they need to be paid back. That's half the battle right there. And then from shipping supplies, I'm going to be pulling $16. Oops. Okay, so I'll do a 20. And then 1, 2, 3, and 4. And remaining in shipping supplies, I have 50, 70, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, and 97. So 97 remaining in shipping supplies. And then, that's it, just equipment, $10. Oops. There we go. Here we go, $10. I love when I have the exact number that I need. Okay, so now in equipment, I have a 100, 200, 50, 300, 20, 40, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 355. Here we go. 355. All right, so now I need to just figure out actually what my actual end number is going to be. So 417 was the original end goal number. We're subtracting 27, 35, and then 58. So actually sitting here, I should have $297. So here we go. 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 200, 10, 20, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, and 97. 297. I did it. I did it. All right. It was a little, you know, it's always questionable when you have to subtract so much money from your total amount at the end. You're not really sure, like, is this going to work out or have I just messed up everything? And then I have to go back and watch my footage. Although I did laugh because somebody was like, at least when you make a mistake, you can go back and look at your footage to see where your error is. Those of us who don't do this have to just like fly by the seat of our pants. And I was like, you know what? You're so right. At least I have a recording and I can try to figure out what I've done wrong. So you know, that does give me a distinct advantage. So anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, I would love it so much if you would give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below, just saying hi. Just, you know, as per usual, just love seeing you guys there, seeing what you have to say, listening to how your week was. I hope that you have a fantastic weekend. We are gearing up for another like productive one where we've got to accomplish things and have goals and stuff. So no relaxing around here, but you know what? It's rewarding stuff like when you get it done. So we're also like, I'm in the process of like spring cleaning and like washing all the curtains and everybody's extra bedding and pillows and all that kind of stuff. So just trying to achieve all those things. Just a real quick housekeeping thing as far as like scheduling and stuff is concerned. So next Monday is when I get my first Etsy pay of April, which means that I am going to be filming and uploading the budget with me. I just haven't worked out the schedule yet. So you guys may end up having like 4 videos from me next week because I'm not going to stop filming my normal content in lieu of like the unusual bonus content, but I also still have like our debt update to film for you guys actually. So that one's going to be coming on Wednesday next week. But then also this mini budget with me. And then of course my usual cash stuffing and my weekly check-in. So that's all going up next week at some point. So I may do like a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday situation instead of like Monday, Wednesday. I don't know. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday sounds better. So, and it will be like that for a couple weeks because I also then have my Etsy and YouTube cash stuffing to film as well. So it's just like, you know, crazy end of the month, beginning of the month content time. But then I've also added in the little mini budget with me, which you don't want to miss, by the way. I'm not going to tell you why, but you don't want to miss them. I'm just going to say that. Don't miss my mini budget with me's. Anyways, all of that rambling to say that I hope that you guys have a fantastic weekend. I hope that it's relaxing or productive or just makes you feel good and warm and fuzzy. And then I will see you back here on Monday with the good old-fashioned cash stuffing. So until then, have a good one, everyone. Bye.